Good afternoon. My name is Mario Knight. I am a master's student at Liberty University, and this is my interpersonal communication plan. So to give you a quick overview, I'm going to give you an introduction. I'm going to define interpersonal communication. I'm going to talk about my behavioral blend, some communication patterns, communication barriers, some goals that I've set for myself, and an action plan on how I want to execute those goals. And then I'll give you a conclusion. So to give you an introduction, my name is Mario Knight. I am a member of the United States Air Force. I've been serving for 16 years now. I am a master sergeant who is also a first sergeant. I have been stationed in North Dakota. I've been stationed in Illinois, Okinawa, Japan, Denver, Colorado, and now I am stationed in Columbus, Mississippi. I've had various deployments along the way as well. So I have an associate's degree in mechanical and electrical technology. I have a bachelor's degree in social science, and I am now pursuing my master's degree in human service counseling. So let's define interpersonal communication. So I broke the word down, and interpersonal means relating to relationships or communication between people, not to be confused with intrapersonal communication, which is more of self. But interpersonal communication is relating to relationships or communication between people. Communication is defined by Merriam-Webster as a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, and behaviors. So interpersonal communication can be defined as the exchange of information, feelings, emotions, thoughts, or ideas between two or more people. Okay, let's go into this behavioral blend. So Carbonell says that understanding the four-quadrant model of basic human behavior often explains why people do what they do. These insights can make the difference between right and wrong responses and best or worst behaviors in a situation. And this is the DISC model that I'm discussing. So in this model, under this is expected of me, I am a SC personality type, which Carbonell says that you think that people expect you to be both submissive and competent. You tend to be very passive. You think people expect you to be more withdrawn as opposed to being outgoing. You are shyer than others, but you are not antisocial. You like people on an individual basis, and most people tend to regard you as a good friend, but you do not seek to be the center of attention. This is definitely true about me because I definitely would rather have one-on-one interactions than be in large groups. So under this is me, I'm also an SC personality type. And Carbonell says that you are more passive than active. In other words, you tend to be more reserved than outgoing. You don't often jump into things or express your feelings openly. You are people-oriented, but prefer to be one-on-one rather than in a large group, like I stated before. You like being behind the scenes rather than being upfront and the center of attention. So again, this is true about me. I would rather have those individual close relationships than lots of relationships that are meaningless. So another personality or temperament test that I did was the 4 lenses test, and that test showed that I was a blue personality type. And the blue personality says that I am a nurturing person drawn to the helping professions like counseling, where I can assist others as they learn to live more meaningful lives. I love to talk to people about their feelings. I am careful to consider how my actions affect other people. And this is also very true about me. Like, I am always thinking about how my actions affect people. So the words that describe me are caring, spiritual, sympathetic, compassionate, personal, peaceful, insightful, patient, and true. So let's go into some communication patterns. So communication patterns that I have are patience, observant. Like, I'm always trying to read the room just to make sure that just trying to see if people need anything. So I'm very, very observant. Like, you can definitely ask me what happened, and I can tell you the finer details of that evening or that particular situation. I bring peace to difficult situations, and I'm not overly aggressive in tone. So those are my communication patterns. Communication barriers are ritual listening, meaning that when someone's talking to me, I'm already thinking about what I can do to help this person, or thinking about just other things, like thinking about my response instead of really focusing on exactly what that person is saying. Saying that I understand, that's a big thing, and sometimes people could it could discredit what somebody is saying, and it could offend somebody by me saying that I understand as they're talking. One of the biggest things that is a barrier for me is avoiding confrontation. And then I also avoid large group public speakings. I can do it, but that's one of those situations where I get flat brained. So when it comes to communication goals, the one thing that I really want to tackle is avoiding confrontation. And to this, I want to improve my communication by tackling my conflict avoidance and my people-pleasing behaviors. That is my communication goal. So why I chose this goal is that conflict avoidance can cause problems in relationships when it happens a lot, especially when it's something that really matters to me or to the other person. Like, withdrawing does not help the situation at all. Like, the situation is still going to be there if I withdraw, or I'm not really getting past or getting over that hump. And then, so conflicts are also a good opportunity to reveal God's glory. Like, we're stripping ourselves from really seeing His glory if I am avoiding those situations. Conflict and confrontation is not always a negative thing. Learning healthy ways to work through this interpersonal conflict will just make me better. It'll enhance my relationships. So my action plan, how I'm going to do this. So strategies that I'm going to use are developing skills to keep emotions from controlling my behavior. When I'm talking to somebody and they're on 10, I don't have to get there. So developing those skills can help out. Then I'm going to also print out and utilize that talker listener card from Peterson, and utilize that in my confrontations. Then study the France and Weikel's 5 ways of responding. So for implementation, I'm going to revisit some of those difficult conversations that I was avoiding. I'm going to use empathy, warmth, and genuineness to show emotion in those conversations. And then I'm going to ask clarifying questions in order to understand that opposing point of view. So to wrap this all up, communication is very complex, and to do it effectively is not going to be an easy feat for me. It's going to require some practice of several learned and deliberate skills and behaviors. Without being intentional, communication can easily break down. Avoiding conflict is one of the acts that can assist in that breakdown of effective communication. I must combat this hindrance with empathy, warmth, and genuineness in order to become a more effective communicator. Thank you.